person in there. That is doing its thing. Okay. We have a surprise guest who you may or may not be able to see right now, but for some reason, she decided she wanted to sit on my lap. Jasmine is upstairs building IKEA bookshelves for me, and she doesn't like that, so she came to say hi to all of you guys. How long that will last, who knows? Okay, not very long at all. She's already decided that it's time to go. So today, we have just one question, but today is our show and share. It's a fifth Friday, and so I hope that you guys have come with all kinds of things to share. I see Cindy saying yes, yay. Okay. And Judy, I see Judy's quilt. Judy actually has the question there. So anyway, I'm going to give you a fun fact about hanging quilts, just in case anybody else tries this. I decided, Wendy, you are the spotlight of the day on my screen. For whatever reason, when I go into speak of you, I can see you. I don't know why Zoom does that. I think it only does it on my screen. Anyhow, so I figured that we have a large closet in the front bedroom in the new place, and I figured that I would put a bookshelf on one wall and curtain rails, two curtain rails staggered on the other wall. We ripped all of the built-in stuff out, which was an interesting experience. So we got two long curtain rails staggered, and I figured I can just drape quilts over them. And it was working quite well up to a point. I had decided that I would put about a third of the quilt behind, so that 2/3 were hanging in the front, so that I could see most of the quilt. That works very well until it gets too heavy on front, and then the whole lot slides off. So yeah, that was kind of fun. I'm standing there calling, Jasmine, come help, because I'm trying to stop it all from slithering off, and she didn't arrive in time. So the moral to this tale is, if you are going to be hanging a whole pile of quilts on a curtain rail, make sure that you have half behind and half in front, and then everything goes swimmingly. So okay, Judy, I am going to come and visit with you. There's a couple of people hanging out in the waiting room, and I'm really not at all sure why. Anyway, okay, I'm going back into gallery view because aha, that's why I can't find you. I'm looking for J for Judy, and you're listed under your email address. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I am well.
She said I can spotlight you. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
You are working now. Hi, that is a bigger version, right?
Yes, I kind of designed my own, what I thought would be a queen. I'm hoping it's going to be about a queen size when it gets done.
Beautiful. I love it. Now tell me what color is it? It's kind of hard to tell.
Grays. It's
Okay.
Gray color and kind of a light green.
Okay.
On one. And then the other colors are kind of a gray here and a pebbly color.
Beautiful. And what colors are your hearts going to be?
Well, if you take Wendy with you to get fabric, you get colors.
Yay, Wendy. I love those colors. That is going to be beautiful.
And it's going to be interesting. like I actually, after I wrote my questions to you, I went back on and I just didn't have the directions for how to put the hearts on there. But then I
Okay.
went back on and I downloaded the whole thing again and okay, came up with your instruction sheet on how to position them and everything. So, but I do want to know, do you recommend using the iron-on fleece or not the Pellon for the heart?
The fusible fleece,
Yes.
you can either, so behind the heart
Yeah.
applique, yes, because it's going to go on right over the cross in the center of the kisses block.
Yes.
And if you fuse directly onto it, if you fuse the applique shape directly onto it, then you'll get seam lines showing up. Whereas if you put the fusible, you can either do fusible fleece or just put a piece of batting down,
Okay.
and that will that will kind of eliminate the piecing lines coming through onto your
Okay.
applique shape. So
Okay.
yes, I do recommend putting either the fusible fleece or batting down.
Okay. And
It
the
looks a lot
fusible
nicer.
fleece, you kind of said to put face down, the sticky side down, and then stitch it, and then cut trim around it, and
Yeah.
then you can start appliquing on top of it. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And then you'd asked about the template plastic. So
Yes.
for the small, so for the 4 inch and 6 inch, and I think for the 8 inch, um 4 inch,
Columns.
5 inch, and 6 inch columns. That was it. 4 inch, 5 inch, and 6 inch columns. Using the template plastic to kind of shrink your hoop to the exact size that you want it, so that we can minimize the amount of backing fabric
Okay.
and batting that we're
Okay.
using. And also drawing on it very specific lines to make it easy to line up the whole quilt sandwich,
Mm-hmm.
so that there's a minimum amount of adjustments to do of the design in the hoop. And so you're asking, is it possible to tape the template material
Yeah.
together to make it large enough? I don't see why not.
Okay.
I don't see why not, because as long as I would overlap just a little bit and tape it
Okay.
from the front and the back,
Mm-hmm.
then I think you should
Okay.
be just fine.
I see Marilyn just popped up. She's got her templates made if we want to see them.
Okay, let me spotlight Marilyn here. I ask Marilyn to unmute, and
Right. Okay, so I made one. I used it for the 5 inch blocks, but I marked my 7 inch background and put tape over it so it wouldn't. I think I got them
Yeah.
backwards, but anyway, so it wouldn't
yeah,
mark off. And then I made one for the square, and I went ahead and made one for the double, same 5 inch block.
Oh, okay.
What I was doing was the pillow, and it had two 5 inch squares together.
mm-hmm.
So if you use the two 5 inch squares, or two of whatever, or if you're going to do three, just do a template for the three.
Oh,
Anyway,
okay.
I had one of each because I figured I'll use them again.
Yeah. Judy, will you be using your super giant hoop on your
Yeah, and it's
um
about a 9.25 by 10, 12 inches or something. I have it written down somewhere.
the we Luminaire or Solaris?
Luminaire.
Okay, so the
It's a
really oh, using
dime
the
snap hoop, magnetic hoop.
okay, so the 240 by 360.
I think so, yes.
Okay, because you could also do it in the in the super giant hoop that you've got with the luminaire. And that would allow you 6, 12, 18, not with the 18-inch blocks. Oh my goodness, my brain is going crazy here. Okay, you've got 4-inch and 6-inch. Did you put any 5-inch blocks in there?
No, a 4, 6, 8, and 12.
Okay, 4, 8, okay. So you're probably actually not going to gain anything by using the super big hoop then.
Okay. It's the only magnetic hoop I have for it, is that size. So it is quite large.
Yeah, I think it's probably the 240 by 360.
Yeah.
So, and it wouldn't give you any advantage really to use the bigger one anyway.
Okay.
What I was going to say, and this would be for anybody who does want to use the super big hoop, maybe for the 4-inch or the 5-inch blocks, because you could fit 3 5-inch blocks in the super tall hoop. It's actually easier to use the design for just one block, and also for when you're stitching 2 at a time. So hoop as if you're going to stitch two blocks at a time, but instead of using the double design, actually use a single design twice.
Okay.
And I found that to be easier to get each block completely precise.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I'll just make it the template. I know the kind that I purchased or have access to, I had to tape them to, it's not big enough to fit underneath to cut the center out.
Okay. Yeah, I don't see why it overlap it by 1/2 inch or so and tape it on the top and underneath. I don't see why that would.
Okay.
We're not doing anything
on it.
We're not doing anything on it. We're simply taping the fabric to it. So there's nothing strenuous going on here.
I have one more thing. I did mark the center for the double one. I marked the center, and that helped me get the seam line in the right place for placement.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the other thing that I did, I taped down the background fabric first, and then I put the batting on there and put a little bit of tape on it instead of trying to tape the batting and the background fabric, because it seemed to not stick as well. The background fabric wasn't holding enough. So I taped the background fabric on here first, then put the batting, and just used a little bit of tape on it.
Now, there's a slight difference between what you're doing, Marilyn, and what Judy's going to be doing, because you are only quilting 2 blocks at a time. So it was super easy to put the background fabric down first and then the batting on the top. If Judy is quilting the long strips, you really want to get the you really want to get your quilt sandwich made for the entire strip. So you'll have your backing fabric, your batting, which is going to be a very specific size, and then you want to put the quilt top, or the strip, the blocks, also very specifically down the whole strip. And I learned that you really, really, really do need to baste all the way around the quilt top, even if it's just like an 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch in from the edge. That will
You're talking the columns, Sarah?
Yes. Okay. Quilt top equal column. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, quilt all the way down the sides. So for the smaller projects, and especially the pillow, when we were we had single blocks and we had double blocks. Excuse me one second. Ruthie is trying to do an escape here. With the single blocks and the double blocks, yes, absolutely put the background fabric down first, then the batting, and make sure that each layer is secured. But for the columns, you really want to have them basted together.
Okay.
That would help a lot. Yeah.
ahead of time. Yeah.
Just before you go, I'll show you my mini project.
Yay! That is so cool. Oh, I love the pink. That is beautiful.
The only
So,
thing I would do different is I'd put a wider border on it because I did a 1/4 inch. And it's really hard with that pipe binding to get them to the corners to really look neat and tidy.
okay. Well, let me see. I see Christine is here and Bryony is here, and we are on the 2 hands countdown. I think. Hold on a minute. Let's see. A week on Sunday, we get started. Let me see. Is anybody else here? I don't know everybody that's coming, but Christine and Bryony, that is what we are going to be making. Starting a week on Monday, actually, with the stitching. I think we have I don't know, meet and greet, cocktails, who knows, whatever it is on Sunday night. So I'm super excited about that. So thank you. That's exactly what we're going to be making, Judy.
It was I love this project.
Good.
Truly. Yeah.
Good. Do you think they can do it in a week? Given that we are in a retreat setting, potentially unfamiliar machines, lots of getting to know each other happening.
Do you quilt till you wilt?
What?
Do you quilt till you wilt?
I have no idea how that bit's going to be set up.
No, quilt till you wilt, like a flower wilts.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I guess we'll figure that out when we get there.
With you there guiding them, I'm sure they'll be able to stay on task. I was a little slower than that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, the plan is that we get to do it and we get to finish up with the no hands pipe binding.
Oh,
that's
good.
The plan. So, okay. But I can have plans and they don't always work. So. Okay. Well, thank you so Sarah. Much, Judy. I'm excited to see this quilt as it comes together. It's looking fabulous on your wall there.
I am too.
Stay in touch. Keep sending pictures, progress pictures.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Marilyn, got anything to share here?
Well,
since you're already on.
I have the pillow that I finished. I think.
You'll see what is hanging on Marilyn's cupboard door there. I think that's fabulous. No, over to the left. It will be over to your right. There you go.
Yeah.
Tell me, so you've got a 3D flower with a bow on the top?
Yeah. I just had some ribbon. I needed to hang it somehow, so let me get it.
I love that. Beautiful. Okay.
It's just pinned on.
Pins work, you know?
Yeah, they do. Anyway, okay, so I made the pillow. And then I used the 5-inch for the quilting of the back of the pillow. And I put a zipper in it.
Groovy.
I don't have a pillow in it yet because I'm not sure who I'm going to give it to. But so anyway, there's that. And then you had put out on Facebook one of your ads about Winter Wonderland, the trains in a little framed, 3 trains in a frame setting. So I did this for my cousin's new baby.
Oh my goodness, that is so cute.
Put his name and the weight and the date and all the things. And
fabulous.
I started out, I was gonna frame it like you did. And so it's in 3 pieces. And I thought, I don't know. I think I'll just put it all together because I was going to try to put the name on it. And then I was, So anyway, it has seams in it. If I were going to do it differently or do another one, I would make it all one piece, like, our normal
Uh-huh.
projects are. But anyway, so that's what I did.
Now,
For
can you
Ben.
hold it up just a little tiny bit more? I've got I was just wondering if you had connected the train
No,
sections together.
they're just like a half an inch apart.
Okay. August 7th. That is a very good day to be born. That's 2 days before my birthday.
Yeah. Anyway, so I put
I
all those
love
little
that.
details on there. I put a
Beautiful.
little sleeve on the back so they can hang it up with a dowel rod or something.
Very cool.
That's what I've been working on.
Okay. If you want a pillow form to go in that pillow, I somehow or other managed to accumulate lots of them. So if you
That's
happen
good.
to be in the neighborhood,
Yeah. Get Joe to pick up one next time she's down there.
yes. And then she has to come and visit you.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds like a good plan. Well,
Uh,
good to see you.
you too.
Okay, Sharon, I am coming to ask you to unmute here.
Hi, Sarah. How are you?
Hello, how are you? Let me just spotlight you here. Okay.
My daughter is paying me back, but I have a question on the multi-tote, and it's just a clarification on the instructions on page 71. It's
Hold
the
on, let me pull up
multi-tote
the instructions.
for the abundance collection. I
Okay,
just want a clarification.
hang tight 1 second. Instructions. Okay, can you tell me exactly which document you're looking at? Are you looking at the full page or the two per page?
The full page.
Okay. And the multi-tote.
Right, right.
Okay, it's coming. Okay, which page are you on?
I believe it's page 71.
I wonder if I type 71 in there, does that, whoops.
Let me find it here.
Okay, got it.
That's the to add the front and back to bottom, right? Page.
Add front and back to bottom.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, so you take the okay, you put the strip on and fine, right? I don't have any problem there. I haven't done it yet, but on the next page, pare the sashing down, fold over, then you stitch it down. Then on the next page, place the bottom inside down on the table. So that's the side with the smaller piece, correct? And it's placed down, correct?
Hold on a minute. I need to go further back here. So so you've added the sides to the front and the back.
Right. Here's mine. I've added the sides. Here's my phone. Here's my picture. My bag. If you want to see that.
Okay. Beautiful colors.
I'm just waiting. I ordered some stabilizer off of eBay because I couldn't find it anywhere in Denver and I wasn't going to go all over. Well, it got lost in the mail. So I'm still waiting for a week later for it.
Oh, goodness.
So he's now trying to track it down because I ordered it off of eBay. So he's tracking it down. So I have the sides and I have this is as far as I've done. Okay. But I just wanted to clarification. And then here's my other, instead of doing the 12 pieces, I accidentally did this big one and I didn't want to. So I ended up using it for the back. Okay, because I wanted to use the other one and I just selected the wrong one for the front.
I think that is I love that. It's going to be fabulous. And it's totally uniquely yours. So, okay, so we got the sides going on to the front and the back.
Right, so this is
And
the piece where you add the bottom.
right, it's what, at least a decade since I made these packs.
Right, right. I mean, I understand you take there's
So,
a strip that's 1.5 inches, I think. And you add it to the bottom of the I believe it's the front. Right, you add it to the bottom of the front.
okay,
And you put it on as right side down, no, right side up, and then you stitch it on, right? And then you're going to fold it, from what I understand, you're going to fold it over. And as the photo shows, it's going to show that the wrong side. You fold it over, and then you're going to stitch it down.
okay,
Okay. The next step, it says place the bottom inside down on the table. So I just wanted to confirm that the bottom, which is the inside with the smaller piece, because there's two pieces of for the bottom, and they're
okay.
stitched down. Okay, I just wanted to confirm it's going to go down.
If it says down, then yes.
That means it's going to go down. Okay.
And then okay.
I'm not quite sure how this is going to work, but like I said, I see your photos, but I don't know if that's going to be enough for me to figure it out.
I might have, you know what? I might have to go and reread this from the beginning to remind myself exactly what is happening. And
Okay.
also
Like I said, I
grab the
wasn't
bag.
sure because I can't get that far yet. I mean, I could do that, but then I can't add the other piece because I don't have it yet. Because I don't have the stabilizer yet. Because I went ahead and ordered the Floriani one that you recommended. Okay.
Okay. Let me have a read of it offline
Okay.
and um and get back to you. For the life of me, I'm looking at these pictures and I cannot remember
It's confusing, you know. I was like, I have to
single
read them over
thing
and over
about
and
what we were trying to do. So
I know you don't have any videos, but I should be able to figure it out.
yeah, this is quite a while before we started doing videos. I kind of think that if I'm thinking we're trying to bind both edges in one step, I think. Let me look
Yeah,
at it
I'm
offline
not
and
sure
get
how
back
this
to
is
you.
quite going to work because on the next page, you show what you zigzag something, and then on the next page, you show what it's supposed to look like after
Right.
you add the bottom. I think that's what I mean. Is you're trying to do something like that, but I'm not sure how I can figure it out. I'll see.
Let me go figure out. I've got the bag upstairs.
Okay.
So let me go and offline. I will have a look at it. I will have a look at these instructions again. And like
I just like I said, I want a clarification because I know you're going to be going on your trip. I don't want to bother you.
yeah,
I can't continue, so I couldn't get stuck yet because I don't have the. So in the meantime, I started my heart quilt.
looking good.
So I started with the bigger blocks.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to make it bigger than what you have. So I have to make what I think 2 extra. So I'm adding 2 more rows.
Okay, cool. Making it wider
I'm making it wider. Yeah.
or longer? Okay.
No, I'm making it wider.
Pretty. Now, are you going with grays as well?
No, it's with more of like latte colors.
Okay.
Okay.
It's hard to
So
tell on
this
the
is
screen.
this is the darkest color, you know, that I'm using, this brown for the heart.
Uh-huh.
None of my fabrics are they're lighter. They're like creams and like latte colors.
Okay.
And I haven't been able to sew any of the blocks because my other machine, it locked up when I was embroidering, and I can't get rid of the error. So I have to take it into my dealer after Labor Day.
What kind of error are you getting?
It's a code on the machine, and I called the guy that normally looks at my machine, but he told me what to do and it didn't work. But he's in the process of moving to North Carolina. His wife is out there. So I'm just taking it to a dealer up north in Longmont because I'm going to miss my guy. I got to figure out what I'm going to do. Because this guy, we've used him forever here in the Denver area for a lot of people, but he's not associated with any Bernina store. He does his own thing, and he's been doing it for 25 years since I've had my like 1630. And but we couldn't get rid of the error, so I was embroidering one of your projects, and then in the middle of the embroidery, it just stopped and locked up. Just locked up for no reason. So, and this error won't go away when you press these certain the certain buttons. It won't go away.
And you turned off.
I did. I turned it off.
Completely
I did
off and back on again.
To do, and nothing. So I got to take it in. Yeah, and it needs also to be serviced at the same time.
Okay. Well, hopefully they'll be able to fix it for you.
So I can't sew while I'm embroidering now, so that sucks. Because I have another machine that I'm using for the embroidery.
Well, I have 3 that's sitting here, ready and waiting to sew.
Okay.
Maybe tomorrow.
When are you leaving on your trip?
I'm leaving on Wednesday.
Wednesday. Okay. We have a great trip.
Thank you.
And hopefully, like I said, I can figure out this bag.
Well, check in with me via email, and I will endeavor to figure it out.
Okay.
I need a little, unless you all want
something else to do, So
yeah, unless you all want to sit and watch me reading these instructions, my brain is not exactly working.
No, that's
right
fine.
now.
That's fine.
But we'll figure it out. So, and I got your email too.
Okay. Well, sometime you need to do another retreat at your new place.
There are a couple. Well, there's a quilt shop which is I don't actually know how far down the road it is, but it's like almost a straight shot down Oracle. What's it called? Cactus Quilts, I think. And I went in last week and met the owner, Lisa, who is amazing. She's awesome. I love her. And it looks like they have a pretty big classroom in there. So I was contemplating asking if we could potentially do something.
Okay.
So you never know.
Okay.
You never know.
Have a great trip, though.
Thank you. Yeah. It'll be the first time in, let's see, we figured it out the other day. I think 14 years since we've had all 6 grandchildren in one spot together at the same time. We've had 5 of them together since then. And so bearing in mind, 14 years ago, 4 of them were really little. It's going to be kind of interesting because now they've all grown up, and we've had 5 of them together in the last 5 years, I think. And the missing one, the kids held a photograph of her, but it'll be fun to see all 6 of them together.
It's hard to get people together.
I know. I know.
It is.
but we will be there, and I'm sure I'll show you some pictures on Facebook at some point, maybe in an email too.
Okay.
So good to see you.
Good seeing you.
I'll see you later. Okay, let's see. Virginia, you have your hand up. Coming to ask you to unmute here. And anybody else? So Cindy, I know that you have something. Anybody else who has something to share on show off, that would be fabulous. I think Virginia is possibly not paying attention to her computer right now. So Christine. Oh, we need to check in on that temperature quilt.
Hi, Sarah.
Hello, how's it going?
Hi. Okay. There's still not much variation.
So that is English weather for you. It's looking good though. So how many months have you got here?
6.
6 months.
Yeah.
And you're not wrong there when you've not got much variation.
Right. There's one, I think there's one really bright yellow. If I can find it.
Oh, there you
Yeah.
go.
Here. 2.
So how hot was that?
About 27.
Celsius. I might have to just
About
figure out what's
27.
that in
Probably about
centigrade.
78.
78. Okay. We are just about getting that cool here at the moment.
We didn't call it cool. So I've done what I decided to do was do the first 3 months, do the next 3 months, put those 2 3s together.
Uh-huh.
And then I'll do the same for the latter half of the year. And then when I've got the latter 2 3s together, it will then go on to what I've got, because it's just wrestling around with it. It's
Yeah, that it gets
and
hard
it's
when it
quite
gets bigger,
heavy.
doesn't it?
Because I had the batting on the flying geese, but then
Mhm.
I also put another layer of batting and then the backing.
Behind.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it's quite heavy.
Yes. So yeah, I like your approach. Quarters and then halves and
Yeah.
then the whole
Trying
thing
to
together.
keep it a bit more manageable.
So you've got the January, February, March, April, May, January through June.
Yeah, they're
Have you
stitched
got
together.
July?
I've got July is hanging on the wall as a strip.
Did you get any more colors in there for July?
No. Oh, there's a couple of oranges at the end.
Okay. So you're getting more greens there.
Yeah, but what I did say, I said to my husband, because these were 3-degree increments, the colours.
Uh-huh.
If I did another one, I would do 1-degree increments, so that you've got. I can't change the weather, but I can change the increments.
Yes,
So
you can.
I
That's
got a
kind
bit
of funny.
more. Yeah.
So this is actually interesting because I contemplated a temperature quilt. I have a design already in my mind for it. So what's your lowest temperature?
I think the lowest one was about 3. It was just above 0.
Okay, and you're up to 27?
Yeah, so I had 12 colours. The lowest one was for anything below 0. and then you had, so that was one color. Then you had the 10 other colors, which took you up to 30
Right.
degrees,
And then anything
and
above
then
that.
anything above 30. But I haven't been able to use any of them.
Okay.
So I think to give it more variation, I would probably
Do more
have,
smaller increments.
yeah,
So, because our temperature, we actually will get all the way down to freezing, which would be 32 degrees.
yeah,
And we've even gone slightly below that, at least in Phoenix. I don't actually know what the deal is in Tucson, but we've got a much bigger variation in temperatures,
yeah,
because let's say from 32 degrees all the way up to 110
yeah.
or above.
Mm.
So even
Yeah.
so that's going up into the 40s, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, we've just got a much bigger variation.
See, and then another idea to add a bit more variation would be maybe to have the high and the low of the day.
Right.
So you would sort of end up with this blend of colours. That would be another idea. There's just not the variation in temperatures to give you a real big range of colours unless you change the increments.
What's your typical high and low during a day?
At the moment, the other day I think yesterday the high was probably about 23 and the low maybe 18, 17, 18.
So even there, you've not got a huge
No,
variation,
so
have you?
everything is all in this middle range all the time.
Right, because we have a 30-degree variation in a 24-hour period between our high and low.
No.
It's fascinating, isn't it? How how the weather is, certainly for a temperature quilt, is going to make a huge difference depending on where you're at.
Yeah.
Because I'm imagining most of Europe is probably going to be similar to
Southern Europe, the Southern Med is a lot warmer.
And I wonder if all across the United States has such significant, or is it just the desert that has like this wildly different? I can see there's people saying in the chat
I haven't
here.
got a desert in Brighton, so I can't really tell you.
Joe is saying, have you ever considered moving?
Yeah.
So Brigitte also makes a good point here. Think about Celsius and Fahrenheit. I wonder if it would actually make because so our range here would be potentially 0 to 40 degrees Celsius. So we've got a 40-degree wide range versus 32 to, so that the same thing would be 32 to 100 and some. So maybe you need to think more, either what you said, do smaller increments if you're working in Celsius, or switch to Fahrenheit. And that would,
I think if you had more or less 0 to 30 and just have the 30 increments and just have a really gentle rainbow range.
Yeah. Or maybe it seems like you need more variation at the lower end of the scale than you do at the top end of the scale. So colder, more colors for cold and less colors for the warmer days that you're not getting. It's fascinating, isn't it? Just to think, different, the way of thinking differently based on where you live. I never would have figured this out if we hadn't had this conversation over the course of this year about how your temperature quilt is coming together.
But I would probably do another one next year, totally different. different design and everything, because I quite like the fact that it's completely unique.
Yes.
To this area and to me as well. It's totally unique. So I quite like that aspect of it as well.
That yes. And I like that too. Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm thinking we should maybe all be doing a temperature quilt next year.
I think we should, because
Uh,
it would be really, really fascinating to see different people and different areas, what people come up with. And I
Yeah.
think, I think it would be amazing.
So if you are up for a temperature quilt for next year, shout out in the chat right now. So Jo is potentially still on Venus with her thinking here. She said, perhaps make a temperature quilt based on what you want the temperature to be. That's
Yeah,
a nothing to do with reality sort of situation.
yeah,
That's kind of like taking control, where I think what you're finding is that one of the things that is really fascinating about this whole process is that you don't have any control about the colors that are coming along.
yeah,
So,
and ends up this mix, which is totally unique. But it
yeah,
would be amazing for others to do it, and again, theirs would be totally different because they live in different areas.
yeah. Well, Brian is saying they get from -10 to 27, and I'm assuming that's centigrade up in Scotland. Ruth in New England saying -10 Fahrenheit to 110. So, I mean, there's just massively different
Yeah.
possibilities coming
Mm.
up.
Mm.
So, are you going to bring your temperature quilt to Devon next week?
I'll bring my machine, I'll bring this, I'll bring that. Yeah, I'll load up the car and off I go. Yeah. Yeah, I'll
Okay,
bring it down.
sounds good. Well,
Can
I
you?
will.
Oh, wait, is it this one we're doing, Sarah?
We're doing the little one.
The little
That's the
one.
big one. That's the
Right.
maxi version. We're doing the mini one.
Right, okay.
So the one that Judy showed earlier.
Yeah, I didn't quite catch that.
It's the little black and white one.
Right, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Well, I will see you very soon.
Can't wait. Can't
Yay,
wait.
me neither. It's going to be fun. Okay.
Well, all right then. Bye.
Bye. Okay, let's see. Virginia, are you ready here to oh, you are already unmuted. Okay, let me spotlight you here. Hello.
Hi there.
How's it going?
It's going. I have just a quick question. I need to make a footrest. I'm going through some difficulties with cancer right now. And I looked at your tuffets this morning. Can you tell me what the sizes are? And can you tell me if I embroider those, where you get the tuffet to put it on? Or I don't understand how that exactly works.
Let me see. Tuffetsource.com. I'm just going there right now.
Oh,
They just announced that they are retiring. So let me put I'll put the website in the chat. So if you are going to make a tuffet, you definitely want to order a tuffet kit as soon as possible. Because Sharon did announce recently that they are retiring.
okay. So the tuffet kit that I would order from the Tuffet source gives you the the shape of it and the feet so that I can put the cover
Yes.
on top of it.
Yes.
Okay.
So you can purchase the entire thing. And I was like, where are all my tuffets are all in the other room. So they're about, I think they're 18 inches diameter.
Oh, good.
And oh, Cindy said they're sold out of everything. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
So I have a tuffet kit in my cupboard around there. If you want to send me an email and we can figure out, we can figure something out with that.
okay. All right.
But they are about, oh, and Laurie said some quilt shops have kits. So you might do a Google search on tuffet source, tuffet form. But they are
Okay.
about 18-inch diameter. And what you get in the kit is the piece of foam. So the foam is about, I don't know, 6 or 7 inches tall, deep. I think it's an 18-inch diameter circle. It also comes with a piece of wood that is the base. And it comes with, let's see, it comes with a piece of batting, I want to say, that goes over the tuffet form. And Sharon also includes feet. So the base, the wooden base has holes for that you screw the feet into already in
Okay.
it. Sharon says that there's a message on the website stating kits will be available later. So check in on check in on you know, if you have time, give Sharon a call. Give the Tuffet Source a call. That's possibly the easiest thing. Cindy said there are other outlets. Just Google. Do not go for the one on Etsy, as they charge $150 for shipping, which is ridiculous. Others charge $60 for priority shipping, which is about right. So yeah, they're not cheap. But the Tuffet Source, Tuffet kits are the best.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, they are the best.
That
And
then.
we've got the two different covers. We've either got the Happy Tuffet collection or the Simply Dreaming Tuffet collection. And the Simply Dreaming one, I would say go with that one because there are videos showing you how to do the whole thing.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
That will work for me then. Thank you.
You're welcome. The other cool thing about the Simply Dreaming Tuffets is I've also shown you how and included the designs so that you can use the designs to make a complete circle.
Okay.
Which makes it makes a really nice table topper or a small Christmas tree skirt.
Oh, okay. That will work.
Okay.
Then. So that's the Simply Dreaming Tuffets pattern is what I want, or kit
Yes.
from you. Okay. I
Yes.
will go out there and work with that then. Thank you.
And just in case you didn't get the email I sent on Wednesday, and I will send another email out tomorrow. We are in the middle of 24% off everything in the Meaning of Life Design store.
Oh, okay.
We're kind of doing a little trip down memory lane. You know, thoughts about my mom and how these thoughts kind of connect in with what we've got going on as quilts. So also
Right.
because I'm going to be gone.
Yeah, I saw those other couple of emails and so forth and so on. I have a pen pal that's over somewhere in England, or a sewing buddy that we connect up on FaceTime every so often. So she may be at your event. I'm not sure.
Well, it will be nice to meet her if she is.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. You are welcome. Nice to see you, Virginia.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, let's see. Ruth, you are up next.
I was just gonna show you all. I did get the
Let me just spotlight you. There we go. Ooh, pretty.
one.
Beautiful. All done.
And with your help, thank you. I am figuring out the borders for block 2.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of think that when I was looking at that page that you were asking about in the instructions, it almost looks like the ruler, the second ruler below is going with the top picture, but there's 2 separate pictures.
Right.
So,
And
yeah.
I looked further on at some of the other squares that use that same blue and green stripe and saw the pictures where you had them lined up in rows so that I could see what we're doing ahead.
Okay, good.
So
Yeah,
I
that
haven't,
it's once you've kind of got the visual for it, it's actually one of the simpler borders to do. So
okay.
I'm excited to see your block 2 when you're done.
Okay, thanks.
Bye. Okay, let's see. Lonnie coming up here.
Hi.
Hello.
I have just a very simple question.
Okay, go for it.
I'm working on the Awakening collection from the 3D. Anyhow, I want to make a queen size quilt, and you have options, number 1, 94 by 96, and then it gives you 4 blocks, 12. Is that for the complete quilt, or is that for adding to the quilt that you have a pattern for?
Let me pull it up so that I can remember exactly where we were going with that.
I just thought about that today, and so I thought, oh, I'll just ask you a quick question.
Now where in the world did I put it? That is burning question right now.
You've got so many things going on. I feel bad for you.
You would like to think, given that we did this a while ago, we would be somewhat organized about it. Let me see. I have a feeling, I don't know why the images aren't in the folder. Never mind. We'll figure it out. Hang tight just a second.
That's okay.
That's not what I wanted.
My sheets that I have in front of me does not have a page number on it. So, so I can't help you on that. It's just where you gave the 2 different sizes, the queen size, and I think you had another size, but I took the queen.
I think there were 2 different options.
Yes, there were.
Okay, here we go. The queen size quilt options. Okay, that's why I couldn't find it in the document, because we've only put it in the portal. So
Yes.
Let's preview that, move it to a different window, and I will share my screen so that you can see we're both looking at the same thing. Okay.
That's the one.
This is the one?
Yes. Now see here, you've got the 4 blocks, the 12 and all this on down. Now, is that adding to the original pattern, or is that?
No, this is starting from scratch. So,
okay.
Let's see. So starting on the left, we've got a column of 4-inch blocks.
Okay.
And then there's a column of 12-inch blocks.
Okay. I understand now.
Another column of 4-inch, a column of 8-inch, 4-inch, 6-inch, 12-inch, 6-inch, 4-inch, 8-inch, 4-inch, 12-inch, 4-inch.
Okay.
So that's using the small hearts on the 8-inch wide and the big hearts on the 12-inch wide. And then the other one is using also 8-inch and small small hearts and big hearts.
Okay. So if I wanted to make it a little wider, then I go from the bottom up, you know, to where it starts over again.
Wider this way?
Wider or longer. What I'm saying is that is what you have for finish. And if I want to go a little bigger, then I just add another, you know, how many, 1, 2, 3, you know, lines.
Well, to make it wider, you're going to add more columns.
Yeah, if I
And
wanted
then
to.
you,
And then I would also add more depth. In other words, you see how many columns this has for the size that you have.
right.
And so
But-
if I wanted to add another column, like I could add a 4-inch column, or not a
Yes.
4-inch, but a whatever I wanted to.
Yeah.
Because this-
Yeah.
Yes, this is the pattern that will make this 93 by 96. And that's
Yes.
what I wanted to know. Okay.
Yeah. Or 94 by 96, or up there 93 by 96 is
Right.
this variation.
Is this variation. So I can then go from that variation and either make it longer or wider by. what
Yeah.
you- Okay, that's all I
So
wanted.
longer, you're going to be adding more blocks onto the
Right.
end of each column.
Right.
And wider, you'll add more columns onto
Right.
it.
Right, right.
Okay.
That's all I wanted to know. I didn't know if that was adding to your original or what, but anyhow, you've answered my
No, this
question, and
this
that's
was
good.
kind of starting from scratch, but
Yes.
using using the different widths of the columns, you know, and we had if you email Rare and ask her which Zoom call we played with this, we actually did it live on a Zoom call.
I probably watched it, but I can go back. I can ask her which number it was.
Yeah, ask her what the date was, and
Yes.
she'll be able to point you to the video specifically for it.
So she'll be there while you're gone.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, she will.
Well, my thoughts are with you, and have a very good trip.
Thank you. Okay, let's see. Cindy, you are up next.
Am I unmuted?
There you go.
Okay, great. I'm trying to get more specific about my goals each month. And I have to say, knowing that Show and Share was at the end of August really kept me accountable. And I have goals for the end of November. Otherwise, I just wander around, you know. So one of my
That is
goals,
so awesome.
I got a new sewing machine. I got a new 990. And
Woohoo!
I had a low number, so it came in July. And so,
Wow.
yeah.
Oh,
so
you are
right
right
away-
on the ball and getting onto that one then.
Yeah. So right away, I had to sit through the hub, the skill hub, and learn a lot of things. And then I was like, okay, time for my joint quilt blocks. So I quilted. The first one I quilted was, of course, 1A because it was so small and it fit entirely in the hoop. Entirely. And so I had, let's see, I got a, whatever, there's a thing there. And then I learned how to move the files, move the images around, because you take a picture of your block in the hoop, the actual thing. And then it's so easy to take your designs and just move them. And then I have like 6 or 7 different ways to get them to fit. So much fun. So after I did 3 blocks, then quilted, then I worked on learning the sashing technique.
Okay.
So that was a big goal for me, to quilt all 3 blocks and do the sashing while learning a new machine.
It's fabulous. I'm loving hearing about your journey with this brand new machine.
Yes, that was pretty exciting. And then the Tuffet questions have been coming up, and very early on, that was one of my goals, one of the first files I ever bought from you. And so in preparation for doing that, because at the time that seemed like a really big project, but now I think I could handle it. So I prepared in two ways. One was, and this is a MEL gathering, so I'm not going to go deep, but one was to make a conventional tuffet just to understand the anatomy. And then the other thing I wanted to do was make a small one, but when Tuffet Source didn't have their minis anymore, she was wonderful on the phone. She's her first name is escaping me, but she forwarded me to Julie Struthers, who had miniature tuffets, but Julie's are 6-inch, where Tuffet Source, the minis were 8.
Oh.
So I kind of had to rework some of the mechanics of creating a 3D object, we'll just say. But I loved your piping idea. And instead of putting it on a big circle or on a ruched situation, I just made a regular tuffet with the file, with the fabric stitch and flip method in there. And you'll see pins. I have yet to hand stitch that down. But I'm not going to be able to do the button because I don't want to dimple in this nice flat thing here. So,
it's kind of surprising. If you do dimple it, it kind of works out.
Well, I left the stabilizer in on purpose to give it a nice. So I think I'm going to skip. I made the button. Oh my gosh. The button that comes with it is pretty much the size of your yellow center on the 6-inch. And I thought, well, that's fine. I'll just get a smaller covered button. Well, I did. I have a tiny little green one, but I just didn't think it would contribute to the overall. So I'm like, nope, I don't really need a button. But the techniques I learned on the other tuffet helped me finish, put a finished circle on the bottom, and
it's looking fabulous.
Do some of the other things to finishing with it. But anyway, your 6-inch design was lots of fun to stitch out on. It's the first embroidery applique that I did on my 990. So I'll always remember.
So that's it. That's a 6-inch pedal power design. Yes,
6-inch pedal power. And there were, and there's so many lovely patterns in there, but I thought this one, fit the tuffet. And since I'm, knee deep in the joy quilt, I have all these lovely fabrics and all these threads already available. So it was super easy to pull together my supplies and follow the thread card that you had for this exactly, because it went with all the beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah, this is a 2-day project.
Okay, good to know. I like that. 2-day projects are good.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. I'm excited for you and your new machine and all of the epiphanies that you're having, and keep at it. It's awesome. Okay. Let's see. We are at the time when I'm going to have a look at all of you guys, and I'm going to tell you I am leaving right now because I am taking Jasmine out for lunch. She came over. We actually had her coming over today. Well, actually, no, she came yesterday. And that was on the calendar ever since I actually moved in here. And then what with everything happening, we had a little shopping expedition yesterday for smartness for the kid to wear to Granny's funeral. So did that with both of the girls. It was actually kind of nice to go shopping with them. I haven't been shopping with them for smart clothes in probably since we were out shopping years and years and years ago for school uniforms. So anyway, Jazzy and I are off to lunch. Bryony, I see you there. Christine, you are not actually showing up on the screen right now, but I will see both of you guys in England a week on Sunday. And I'm super excited about that. Everyone else, if you are in Mel's Tangle Club, I will see you, let's see, on the regularly scheduled second Wednesday when I will actually be in England. So you'll probably see Bryony and Christine. They will be right there with me as with either 6 or 7 other people who are coming to the retreat. And Mel's Tango Club Plus, we've actually moved that to September 27th. Because the dates kind of got wild and out of hand. So no Mel's get-togethers in September, because I will be traveling all over the place. We will get back together for Mel's get-together in October. Can you believe it? Oh my gosh, that doesn't bear thinking about. But anyway, I will be sending you emails, and I will see you in October.